Since ancient times, bees have been living with humans, and their honey has been harvested for almost the same amount of time. The first account of bees living with humans was found in hieroglyphs in ancient Egypt. Since then, bees have continued to live and evolve alongside humans. Through this relationship, humans have learned more about bees and how to take care of them. However, threats to the bees have been found. These threats are more recent, becoming serious in the mid-2000s. These threats range from human-inflicted to acts of nature. One of the problems that bees are facing are neonicotinoids. They are a chemical found in pesticides that has similar properties to nicotine. The chemical causes the bee's behavior and social interactions to become disrupted. When these changes occur, the bee becomes lethargic, antisocial, and be unable to keep up with the hive's maintenance, which can impair colony growth, eventually leading to the collapse of the colony. Another problem that the bees face is something known as varroa mites. They are a small, external parasitic mite that attacks the honeybees. When the parasite attacks the bee, it causes a disease known as varrosis. The disease is able to spread throughout the breeding of the bees, so the threat is truly big. When infected, the bees become extremely weakened. They also spread a deadly condition known as deformed wing virus, which causes the newborn bees to have useless wings. There are treatments for varroa, but not all are effective or ensure the health of the bees.
What kinds of threats do your bees face?
My bees face threats from cold winters, from varroa mites. It's a big problem in the area. And they face threats from having seasons without food that I have to make sure they have enough food to get through those seasons, or otherwise they'll eat through all their stores. And I guess I am concerned about, some of the pesticides used in agriculture nearby, but I don't really have any evidence that that's been a problem. Oh, and bears. Bears are a big threat to my bees because bears will come and knock and destroy the bees to eat the honey, and that's happened a few times actually.
Another threat to the population of bees is something known as desynchronization. This occurs under one of two scenarios. Either the flora of a region bloom before the bees come out, or the bees come out before the flora is in bloom. When this happens, the food supply of the bees is lower than it should be, as they either need to wait for the flora to bloom or do extra scavenging in order to find and get the food they need. However, there are things that can be done in order to help save the bees. Even though it's not possible to individually help with the varroa mites, there are ways to help the bees. The ways to help vary from having a small impact to having a much larger impact. Some of the smaller ways to help the bees include planting flowers and other flora that are native to the region and are also bee-friendly, as well as avoiding chemical-heavy pesticides and insecticides on flowers and other plants in the yard, and buying pesticide-free food from the market. One of the larger ways to help is becoming an actual beekeeper, even if it's only for a single, small hive. Though it may be a lot of work, the end result is helping the environment as well as having free honey.
Oh. Why did you start beekeeping?
Why did I start beekeeping? Well, I heard about a class that was given by a local bigwig atheist beekeeper. I think atheists are people who don't believe in bees, maybe. Anyway, a local beekeeper's given a class, and it brought my attention to it, and I said, oh, that would be really neat to learn about bees. So I went and learned about bees at the class and learned how to become a beekeeper, and then just by knowing it, I became interested in it, and I wanted to have bees for the hobby of taking care of raising bees, and I thought it'd be really neat to get my own honey, and it'd be really neat to work with bees and see, kind of the awesome things they do, the way they communicate and collect, and I also knew that there was a problem with the honeybee population due to colony collapse disorder. It's been happening in the last 15 years, and I thought it'd be neat to help, raise bees to help rectify that. So those were all the reasons.
Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to others to help the bees?
What advice would I give to other beekeepers or to other people in the world? I'll answer both of them. Other beekeepers, I would suggest talk to other beekeepers, go visit other beekeepers who are successful and visit their colonies with them, do inspections with other beekeepers so you know what to look for, and try it and don't give up hope. If they die, stick with it. And for other people who don't know about bees, I would encourage them to not use chemical insecticides on their gardens. I would encourage people to plant lots of flowers that bloom at different times of the year. Because one of the issues I have around here is there's a season where not a lot blooms, like in July. If you can plant flowers that bloom in July, that would be great. And don't kill honeybees. If you're worried about honeybees, call a beekeeper to come have them taken away, because it's pretty easy to remove a colony that is formed in your yard. It's very easy to do that without anybody getting hurt. So call someone instead of, trying to get rid of it yourself.
If nothing is done to help save the bees, they might very well become extinct, causing this to become our reality.